konnichiwa. 안녕하세요. Hi, this is Nihangogin. 안녕하세요, my Koreaboos. I hope you guys are having a fine day. Now let's get to learning. Today's lesson will be on basic sentence starters, the most common ones. There are three things today, or in this video, that I'd like to go over today. Jo, topic marking particles, and lastly, ita. Starting off with jo, that is the word literally translated as I. So I is jo, jo, jo. Next, topic marking particles, which are nun, un, nun, un. So topic marking particles are a probably one of the most important things of making a sentence. You need to show or display what the topic is in the sentence. That's important because there's not a single sentence in Korean or English that does not have a topic. You must always need a topic. The basic structures of a sentence in English would be a topic, a subject, and a verb. In making sentences in English, typically it's topic, verb, subject. So that is because the verb is doing something or an action to the subject. That's typically why that formula works. However, for Korean, now I would make a big note of this. Verb is always last. That's almost like 90% of all sentences. The verb will always be last. Now that's very the same for Japanese too, but yes. Subject and our topic and subject are typically first. So if you guys remember, what is I in Korean? I'll give you time. Jo, jo. So that is I. So if I want to say in English, I am Mark. I am Mark. In Korean, that would be 저는 마크예요. 저는 마크예요. Now in this sentence, I am Mark. As you can see in I am Mark, I is the topic. Am is the verb. That's the state of being. Mark is the subject. So the state of being Mark is I. So now in 저는 마크예요, 저 is the topic. 는 is the topic marking particle. So this is the important that I'm teaching you. 는, and then 마크, 예요. So in literal translation, 저는 마크예요 is I mark it is. I'll explain the it is part. I know that sounds weird. The equivalent is obviously I am Mark. But just trust me. So how nun in works in the sentence, it highlights what the word after nun in. So if I say 저는, so I would say I mark it is. So that translation, I mark, I am highlighting mark it is. The particle nun in has a formula. Whatever word it is attached to, or the noun that it is attached to, that it will change based off the if it ends with a vowel or a consonant. Now, if you don't didn't learn Hangul yet, I suggest looking at the past videos to memorize what a verb and a consonant is. It's very important to continue making sentences. Now, in the sentence for jo, that is I. So that ends with a vowel. And the vowel, when it ends with a vowel, it is nun. So vowel is nun. So if you can see, consonants will end as un, un. So nun, un, based off the noun or word it is attached to. So back to the sentence, 저는 마쿠예요. 저 will be nun. So I is. Then maku, that is a noun. We all know who that is. Lastly, ida. Ida. Ida is translated as it is, or in Japanese, des. It is. This has the very similar formula to nun and un. Could you guess? Exactly. It is based off it being a vowel or consonant that ida is attached to, will change it to be yeyo, ieo. For vowels, it ends with yayo. For consonants, it ends as ieo. So in the sentence, again, 저는 마쿠예요. 마쿠 is ends with u, so it ends with yayo. So altogether, 저는 마쿠예요. 저는 마쿠예요. An example for 이에요 is saying 저는 학생이에요. 저는 학생이에요. 학생 means student. Student. Now in this sentence, it's the same exact formula and same as translation. I, student, it is. Now, I strongly recommend you translate this in your mind this way instead of saying I am a student, because I really strongly recommend you separate your American or English brain to your Korean brain. In language, you want to think of your brain as split, because if you try to just automatically translate it, when you get big sentences, your mind will get discombobulated. It's better in terms of that way, because when you get used to just saying I student it is, you'll know I am a student. It just naturally makes sense to say I am a student to English speakers. And that's the confusing part to many learners, because it is an opposite language practically. Having the verb last makes it weird. Now, for example's sake, you don't need to know how to say this in Korean, but it's important to just understand the concept. And as you keep saying sentences, you'll learn the difference in your English and Korean brain. So in the example, I'll just say a word. I hit the ball, or I hit ball, right? That's the sentence. I is the topic. Hit, that's the action, so that's the verb. Ball is the subject. That the subject is getting the verb. which is to get hit. So in Korean, if I were to say I blank and verbs always last, hit. I blank hit. What's the underline? That's right. Ball. I ball hit. So I hit ball, I ball hit. Backwards in terms of speaking. And another important thing to know about verbs in Korean